Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. And, sorry to keep you waiting again. In the previous episode, we fought all the way through the third dungeon of this game, the Poison Moth's Lair, as you see up above. Obtained the Rock's Feather, which lets us jump at will, which is a pretty big deal for Link. And defeated the boss Mothula, eventually. And obtained the third essence of nature, the Bright Sun. In this episode, we are going to be finding some things in the overworld we can do now that we have Rock's Feather, as well as taking care of some regrouping and then heading off to find the fourth essence of nature, which is apparently up in the mountains to the northeast. And wouldn't you know it, we just so happen to have the means now to make all this side questing go a lot faster. And we're off! So those Pegasus seeds are a godsend when it comes to backtracking. Wait a minute, our first stop is right here as we take care of this spiny beetle hiding under the rock. Stop moving, you. I said stop moving. Yeah, that'll make it stop moving for good. Read in summer when vines grow. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have changed the season back when we were by the tree stump. I'll be back in just a second, when it's going to be a lot greener and more summery. Okay, now, if you remember this sign that says there's a secret up here, if you can get up here in summer when vines grow. Well, although I kind of just gave away what to do already. Link, you're my best customer. Take this special gift, Vasu. Okay, first of all, how did Vasu know I'd get up here? I mean, that's one hell of a Batman gambit, ain't it? Especially when this is pretty far away from town, and how would he have gotten here even with the seasons the way they are? But regardless, dig here, and there's a ring. When you take this to Bowser's and get it appraised, it will turn out to be I believe, according to my research, a random ring from Tier 2. So it's not half bad. But with that out of the way, let's go back to our Pegasus run, shall we? Unfortunately, we can't gather more seeds with... Oh, wait a minute, Maple's here! And you see, Pegasus seeds also make her little thing a lot easier to pull off. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, our first case of a very rare and important item. That potion, you see, well, I'll explain once we got it, but the Pegasus seeds will make it a lot easier to grab, and you want to get there fast because, skunked her. Because, that is a magic potion. You see, as soon as you run out of health, that will instantly refill it. It works kind of like a bottled fairy in the more modern Zelda games. And because of that, it's very rare, very valuable, and normally very expensive. And we just got one of them for free. How about that, huh? Is my luck bipolar or what? So heading down here, before you go any further, you do want to take advantage of this tree stump and change the season to summer. This will save you a lot of time in getting a secret in just a little bit. I overshot it. Let's go back to that. Summer, there we go. So as we head onward here, we have quite a few varied things to take care of here. Our first stop is going to be up here, and to the east, mine the Blobs, kill the Octorok, where we're going to find this Gasha nut. What's in it? Another ring. Is that in every one of the trees in every one of the nuts I've opened so far? I think they have. Over here's that, careful, here's that fairy if you need it. We had to have Ricky get us across these gaps before, but now that we have Rock's Feather, it's not a problem. And so, there is something to do up to the north, but real fast, we want to jump down here because now we can climb this vine, mine those Riverzors, because there's something under that tree. You know the drill here. As per usual, there's going to be an old man down here. Will he be a good one or a bad one? Turns out he's good. This guy gives you 200 rupees. And I mean, is that generous or what? He's a cool old guy. And so now we want to backtrack to that area up to the north. So yeah, the more items you get, the more things really open up in this game. Rock's Feather especially. But this is one of those things that we technically could have gotten a little earlier if we just kind of hung around and done nothing for a while and killed enemies, because this Gasha seed we planted here is now sprouted. What are we going to get from this uncommon one? Another ring. And I'm okay with that. So now we're going to be heading just a little further onward. Not much of a point of using a Pegasus seed here because it'll run out automatically when we change areas in just a couple screens. we're going to be heading back to North Horon because there is something we can do there now that we have both Rock's Feather and the ability to create summer. And so, this damn rock. I kind of wish they had something here to where you only had to pick up that rock or a similar, maybe they made some kind of unique obstacle that you only had to pick up once to get through. But anyway, we actually don't want to change the season to summer just yet. Instead, we want to head south here, jump this gap, and use the frozen water, which we normally couldn't cross, to reach this far side over here. And let me bid you a late welcome to the Eyeglass Lake area. As you can see, the lake is shaped like glasses. Sort of. But now we want to use this tree stump to change the season to summer. Interesting place for levers to be, although the Woods of Winter weren't any less unusual. Did I just kill that blue lever with a spin attack? I thought I had more health than that. Just goes to show you, even the people who know this game in and out are, sometimes there's some things you just don't know. But anyway, before things get too complicated, let's take care of these wrong items. Let's take care of these buzz blobs. Use a scent seed to draw them all close to each other, and boom! And we got our scent seeds back. So, you heard the discovery ring go off, which means if we dig in just this conspicuous looking area here, this one, there's a Gacha soil spot. This is actually very special in that it's the first rare soil spot we've encountered so far. We'll get some very nice rewards from this spot, up to and including rings from tiers 2 to 4. So yeah, you definitely want to keep this one in mind and come back here whenever you get the chance to harvest the nuts from that and plant new seeds. This seems suspiciously dungeon entrance-like, but we have no means to do anything about these mushrooms here. We're gonna have to come back. Isn't that a shame? We're just now getting to that point where we can start checking out all the places we had to pass up before, and now we're just finding more places we have to pass up. There's that portal, there's the first portal we entered, by the way. You remember that, right? But you see, the reason we wanted to change the season to summer here is because this secondary lesser lake dries up in the summer, just like part of Spool Swamp did, if you remember. And this rock, which is awfully suspicious, because of course it has something under it, namely a staircase and a cave. Mind the, I think those are green tektites actually of some kind. They just kind of hang around the water there. So we want to go down here. I mean, obviously. Mind the Zoles. And down here, careful! These things shoot spears. There's, I can't quite tell. Are there actually enemies back there? I don't believe there are. Anyway, stick to the far wall, and you'll get past these spears. And in this chest is another piece of heart! Yeah, we're just now getting to this point in the mid-game where we'll start finding these things much more often. There we go, that's the word I wanted. And again, there are only 12 heart pieces in this game, so there will be a point where we stop running into them because we'll have found most of them. So, with that done, that is pretty much everything. I believe, yes, that is everything we need to do before we head back to Horon Village, so I'll meet you right at the entrance to said village. That made a whole lot of sense, right? Ah, I didn't plant one there, did I? How many Gacha seeds do I have? None. Okay, looks like we are passing up on that one for now. What season is this going to be in Horon Village this time? Well, how appropriate. So, we got just a few stops to make here. First of all, we're going to run by Vasus for obvious reasons. Just off to the east here. Because we got a whopping 8 rings to have him appraised. Yeah, hopefully we get some nice stuff here, huh? Alright, come on, big money, big money, big money. No whammies, no whammies, and the Red Joy Ring. That's actually a very nice one if you, you know, as a utility. You know, if you need a lot of rupees really quickly, any rupee you pick up, whether from an enemy or I believe otherwise, don't quote me on that, but I think just any rupees you pick up, period, just in the overworld, not in chests, will count for double. So yeah, that's a nice one. And this ring is the Red Holy Ring. Slightly less useful. You take no damage from the little rocks the Octoroks spew out, or the little rocks that the volcanoes shoot in Subrosia on a few screens. Much more niche, generally not worth keeping with you. This one is the Moglen Ring. That's another one of those novelty rings. It'll turn you into a green-tinted Moglen. You can't attack, but as with any other transformation ring, likes can't eat you. So, you know, if you want to get through an area infested with them without losing your shield. That's, I suppose, kind of an option, but again, it's mostly just for fun. This one is the, oh boy, the Cursed Ring. Halves the damage you deal with your sword, doubles the damage you take. This baby is basically the Zonk of the rings. This is the one that's, it's basically a, well, you lost. But, if you're feeling kind of masochistic and you want to do some kind of a challenge run, there's always this ring. It is what it is, sort of. Here we have the Zora ring. This is an interesting one. We can dive without having to come up to breathe. Shame we can't swim yet, huh? But when we can, that could be an interesting option for traversing areas with a lot of water in them. Here we have the Rocks ring. This is actually a pretty nice one. Makes it so if you stand on a cracked floor, you won't have to worry about it breaking. That sure would have been useful in that one room in the Poison Moss Lair, wouldn't it? But once I had the means to carry more rings, once you had the means to carry more rings, this is actually a very nice option to have for utility when you're going through dungeons or caves. It's very useful overall. See if we can find a that's a duplicate. So we're going to get 30 rupees for that. It's a net profit. Shame we couldn't have gotten something a little better from a ring tier that high, but okay, last one. Come on, I'm hoping for something good here. This is the Whimsical ring. This one's don't get suckered in by the description. This one ain't very good. You see, it lowers the damage your sword deals by 1 level. So let's say you had a level 2 or level 3 sword, it would deal as much damage as the sword level below it. But that's sometimes deadly, you see? That gives it a chance to instantly kill a regular enemy, not a mini-boss or a boss, as far as I know. Don't quote me on that. But the chance of that, you want to know the chance of this ring being a critical strike? 1 in 100. That is not worth it at all. No. So for now, there are some useful rings, but at this point, I do want to keep the Discovery ring for now. That will change pretty soon, though. So, now, we want to check on the farmers. Let's see if there's anything new with them. Pippin and Blossom. Let's see how them and their kid are doing. Pippin just has Gasha Seed info to tell. Let's see what she has to say. Here you can actually, she looks a little different. This is actually, the first time you can actually see her when she's not holding her kid. It's a bit of a surprise at first, I know. Rowan has gotten better. Okay, apparently there isn't anything new, after you've cleared the 3rd dungeon. My notes were wrong. Way to go, me. And at the risk of being wrong again, we're also gonna go check on the Moglen Tree and see if anything new has happened since we obtained that new Essence of Nature. He does, grow a little, after certain points in the game. So we're just gonna check up here. This agonizingly slow staircase and walkway that... Oh yeah, something is new. Something new did show up. A Gasha Seed. It's something. So now we gotta walk down this. And the worst part is you can't burn Pegasus Seeds in this area since every time you go through a door or a staircase, you'll lose it. It's kind of a pain. So that's everything we needed to take care of in Horon Village for now. And so, the next place we want to go is, it's back in the Holodrum Plain area, more or less. I will, meet you back when we get there. So, this tantalizing little, pit in the middle of the ground that was blocking our way through this inexplicable hollow log before? Well, regardless of the reasons, now we can get over it and enter the other side of this. Get out of here. You now press this switch, opening this bridge and now giving us full reign of this region. This is known as the Natzu region. It's rather interesting. Stop by this great fairy. Kind of helpful. Free heal. The Natzu region is rather interesting in that depending on certain conditions you meet, its structure will be different. I will go into detail on said circumstances later on. A lot of buzz blobs and likes here, a lot of grass, although you don't seem to get anything from cutting it. Oh, what? No, never mind. There's a recovery heart. So it's actually very nice if you want to get anything that you would find in grass or clear out some areas and then use the shovel. But you see, this is kind of a dead end. The only way up is if we were to jump up a sheer cliff. Hey, wait a minute. Don't we know someone who can do that? So, Now let's summon Ricky, taking extra care not to let the like catch us. Oh. Apparently I can't summon him on this screen, so we'll just have to go one west and summon him over here. There he is. Wait a minute. What? You just came from that... anyway. So, Ricky is our main means to traversing the aptly named Natzu Prairie. Okay, maybe not so aptly named, but it is what it is. It's kind of more of a Natzu Highlands or something. I don't know. Anyway, as you saw, Ricky is immune to likes. That is very, very helpful. Especially when it comes to taking care of the enemy. Especially when it comes to taking care of them. And then, you know, using the tornado punch thing to take care of enemies from a distance. Hadouken! Missed. Oh well. So we head onward. It's actually not that hard to get through here since Ricky's generally kind of fast and this area is generally kind of open and spread out. Except for here, we want to clear these bushes and then jump over the gap. Down here is... bear with me, folks. I don't know my way around here perfectly. I am not entirely used to the, to this structure for the Natzu area. So, okay, let's check the other path first. Take care of these bushes as per usual. Take out the buzz blob from a safe distance. This time we're gonna go over here. Am I gonna... Nope. Yeah, I was afraid of that happening. And... okay, that just leads to the water. Okay, I could have saw that from the screen before. Why didn't I? Anyway, once you have the means to swim, you can get back to this part of Natzu that way. Yeah, I know. Anyway, sorry about the little mistake. See you in just a second. So anyway, now that we've reached the actual way on, let's take care of some of this grass. Got a cliff to jump down here. If you saw, there was a cave over to this side here. Let's hop off Ricky and check it out. We find, well, this is unusual. Just a scrub sitting here with an unusual song. He thinks it's great, though. Don't you agree? To each their own, I guess. Here's a human I understand. Let me fill your satchel for you. So, yeah, he fills your seed satchel up for free, but that is not all he does, you see. Under different circumstances, under, okay, my mind's drawing a blank here. Either after you clear the main game, after you clear Oracle of Seasons and then link to Oracle of Ages, or in a linked version of Oracle of Seasons, he will, I believe actually it is in a linked version of this, no, it's, actually I believe once you clear Oracle of Seasons, then do a linked version of Ages, you will get a secret in Ages that you can tell this guy in Seasons, and he'll give you something nice. Okay, Snark Text, back me up on that. Did I get that right? Anyway. So now we're gonna head off to the east here. With a, well, this is interesting. Whoa! Okay, yeah. Whoever they are, apparently they don't like us being here. Now entering my domain. Great Moglen. Now this Great Moglen's a jerk. So now heading north. Get rid of the like. See ya. Pains in the ass. So... wait a minute. You boy. This is the Great Moglen's realm. You wish to get by alive? Pay my toll! Better than being forced to solve a maze. So anyway, down here is a shortcut to the Woods of Winter. Problem is, it's a one-way shortcut with the means we have at the moment. And due to something else we're going to be getting very shortly, that shortcut is actually kind of obsolete. And yeah, he actually does say something new every time you come by. But anyway, the way we want to go is through here because... meat. Ugh, it smells like medicine. Can't stand it. See ya. Well, that's an awfully cheap way to keep you from using them here. Anyway, welcome to the aptly named Sunken City. It's not usually this way. The whole city's flooded, but since I can't swim, I just sit... wait a minute. I'm just here blowing bubbles. I thought there was a typo there at first. Well, it kind of sucked being, not being able to swim and being stuck in this little island at the entrance to the city with your only other way to go, blocked by that Jerk forcing people to pay toll or bombard them. So anyway, my pop's a master diver. He had a secret diving spot, but he never told me where it was. Stingy guy. So Sunken City is quite in disarray here. Even the houses are flooded. My husband was a master diver. Now he's old and he's hidden his diving gear and gone off somewhere. Well, that's kind of sad, isn't it? They don't know where he's gone. Up here is Faces Wanted, Ingo, Collector. Where there being an Ingo in Ocarina of Time, apparently there's one here as well. Shoot! That big Horon. No matter how often I ask, he won't give me his vase. I give my dinner for it. Fish! Maybe try to go up here. Scram! Don't touch my vases, I swear! And then he runs all the way back around. So we'll have to keep that in mind if we ever find a vase. Oh, come on, you know we're gonna. Elsewhere in Sunken City is a dead end. So we're gonna have to loop back around to the south. In this house. Sketchy looking guy. Legends say some sort of treasure sleeps on the summit. It's a boy's dream. I think about it so much I can't sleep. Well, I know the feeling of being too excited to sleep, but that's a little... Oh well. Anyway, off this way. Find another house that is empty and kind of run down. But anyway, further north is... Whoops. Pretend that didn't happen. Is our final mystical tree, the Galle Tree, giving us Gale seeds. Their gust can take you where you want to go. Open your seed satchel to use them. And that is our final type of seed that was kind of spoiled by the Subrosian market a little earlier. You see, when you use one, it carries you up to the air and lets you drop off at the location of any mystical tree you've found at any point in the game so far. It sure means to warp around the overworld. And that is why that shortcut to the Woods of Winter is obsolete, because this is much, much easier. So now that we've done everything we can in Sunken City so far, it seems we're at a bit of an impasse. Unless some miraculous scripted event were to happen, like say, oh hey look, oh, I found something weird. It's a monster. It came to attack the city. It did. We must protect the city. Ha! Take that. Well, it doesn't look like it's harming much. Oh, and I don't mind, and I don't want to harm it either. Yeah. Wind City Safety Patrol. Okay, yeah, I get it. We're protecting the city, but without weapons, we're helpless. Do you have bombs? No, I don't have bombs. What about the city's safety? Well, pay no attention to the bombs I'm accidentally picking up and then throwing into the water. What do you say? We shall protect the... Okay, that was awfully bland. Why did I say no to you just to hear that? You have bombs? Yes, I have bombs. There's nothing to fear now. Let's go out on patrol. And they leave the monster alone. And inexplicably crossed water on foot to... I have a lot of questions about that cutscene, including the fact that they took all of our bombs. What jerks they are. Anyway, you saved me. I'm Demetria. You can't swim? I can't even swim up waterfalls. You helped me, so now I'll help you. Get on my back. So Demetria is our second animal companion. He is a Dodongo. Yeah, go figure, right? Only one that shows up in these games, but he's actually very useful. His main source of attacking is biting. You see, normally it doesn't do any concrete damage, but most enemies he'll just kill in one shot. He'll just eat them. Yeah, kind of morbid. But anyway, Demetria's main talent is that he can swim, particularly quickly. And he can completely ignore currents and swim up waterfalls. As he said, you can get a flute for Demetria if you... let me rephrase that. You can find a flute for Demetria, and in fact, it is the one that you get from winning the Subrosian dance enough times. And if you do happen to get that flute, you will find Demetria being harassed by Moglins in that one screen in Spool Swamp that I mentioned at one point before, if you remember that. And you'll have to bribe them a certain amount of rupees to get them to go elsewhere. And if you have Demetria, the Natzu region will be changed into the waterlogged, wide Natzu River. Yeah, complicated stuff. So, the main thing we want to do here is use Demetria to scale these waterfalls, which we couldn't have done otherwise. There's a gotcha spot here, but it is, I believe, it's a common dig spot. So, you really don't want to bother with those at this point. Just stick to common and up. Mind these. These are, I actually forget what the name are. Wow, I am just batting 1,000 today, aren't I? But, the thing to remember is they can harm you if they're in the water, even if you're in the water, and Demetria can eat them out of midair. That's talent, huh? So we want to check these waterfalls. Missed. Let's get them out of our way. Gotcha. Through here. Oh, this is, Hey, wait a minute. Who's this? Take the feather out. I am the Master Diver. To become my pupil, go to the next cave and open all 4 eyes in a single stroke, and bring back proof that you've done so. So now, we're going to need to go to the adjacent cave, but wait a minute, we want to open this chest first, because there's 50 rupees inside. That's actually very nice. For a chest that's just kind of sitting out in the open like that. So now we want to use the opposite waterfall. And Demetria can't cross this bridge. I don't think he can. No, he can't. Obligatory roadblock. So we need to find it. So these statues react when we slash them, and we want to find a way to hit all 4 of them in a single slash. Seems impossible, right? Even with a spin attack? Well, turns out you can move these statues. So with a... Let's play first, am I right? So if we can move these statues into formation, we can use one perfectly timed spin attack to hit all 4. And there is the Master's plaque. Take it to the Master. So, see you in just a second. Alright, Master Diver, we brought back your proof of worthiness. Or something like that. Oh, that's my Master's plaque. You've passed my test. Very well then. I accept you as my pupil. Take these flippers. You got Zora's flippers. You can now go for a swim. Press A to swim, B to dive. I'll teach you my secret route to Mount Kuko. There's a diving hole among the reefs in town. Use the flippers I gave you. And so now we can finally swim. I know it's rather, that's a rather mundane thing to be glad about, but it is very, very useful. And now Demetria is just about obsolete for anything except for scaling waterfalls. Sorry, big guy. You're kind of cool, gotta admit. And now we have done quite a bit. We've taken care of a few side quests and miscellaneous things. We've obtained a piece of heart, several rings, gone through Horon Village, done some rounds, made it all the way to the near northeastern side of the world map, ventured through Sunken City, obtained the new Gale Seeds, used Demetria here to obtain Zora's flippers, and now we have the ability to swim. Wow, that is a lot. Huh. And so, next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, we're going to be seeing just what we can do around here now that we have the flippers, and then heading off to Mount Kuko, our destination. See you guys then. Whew.